This is the Reds Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the Reds Postcast, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network in America. My name is Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong Reds fan. I've been podcasting about this team for 6 years, and I'm in my second season here on Locked On, discussing every Reds game with you all. And I want to thank you for spending some time with me tonight, even in defeat, as the Cincinnati Reds do lose tonight to the Pittsburgh Pirates 8-3. If you're just checking the show out for the first time, welcome. I am so glad to have you here with me. Please be sure to hit that notification button here on YouTube or your podcast app of choice, where you can subscribe and not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but you can get Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker on Locked On Reds as well. On today's show, runners in scoring position, take the Reds out of this game. We're going to talk about that. Brandon Williamson, his first game in quite some time, struggles. We're going to dive into that. And we're going to end on some good. We got to end on some good. Sal Stewart and Elly de Cruz. Well, Elly de Cruz and Sal Stewart, I should say, go back-to-back jacks. All that and a whole lot more tonight. Let's get started.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, let me start with this. I do really like this team. I think that even tonight in defeat, I think it was just a lot of unlucky. And no, they played bad. I'm not going to give some excuse about it. But there's also some situations there where they got to get better for sure. And they probably will. I mean, as the season goes on. Remember, this was game 5 of 162. We got 157 more of these things that really scream out and make you really like this team. And then there was some other stuff where you go, well, that's got to be fixed. And the first thing, obviously, we're going to look at is runners in scoring position. Now, the Reds lose by 5 runs tonight. And if those of you who hung out with me last year on this show know where I'm going with this. The Reds lost by 5. They were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position, and they left 11 on base. Is that going to happen every night? No. Are you going to have nights where that happens? Yes. It just so happened to suck, and it's very magnified because it's the 5th game of the year, and we're all excited about baseball being back, so we're all kind of leaning into it, and there's going to be a lot of people who come in the chat. There are going to be a lot of people go on Jeff and Steve's show and they're in their chat, and they're going to be concerned, and they're going to go ahead and write the season off after one loss, because that's what we do, and we're just magnifying everything this early in the season. I'm not going to act like it's good. It's certainly not, because that's the reason they lost this game. I mean, it's not like Bubba Chandler went out there and was super sharp. He only lasted 4 1/3. He had 6 walks. Brandon Williamson pitched longer in the game than Chandler did. Think about that when you look at this game, big picture, and what the Reds could have potentially done. And not that I always agree with Barry Larkin, because I think his commentary can be very up or down, mostly down. But he said something at the end of the game that I agree with for once. He said, look, I like that there were a lot of scoring opportunities tonight. They just couldn't get that one hit. And there are moments, certainly having the bases loaded 1 out, you got to come through there. Yes, I know I'm talking about Elly de Cruz there, and I told you guys already, we're not going to come in here and complain about him every time he has a bad game, because he kind of redeemed himself later, which we'll get to in the final segment of the show. But there were some unluckies. That Nathaniel Lowe pinch hit, he smokes up ball to second base. That's just one that just stinks, because they could have double play out of it. I still think Brian Hayes should have had 2 hits. I understand why they called the Brian Reynolds an error, but if I recall correctly, if the ball does not touch the A fielder, then that count that and drops into the ground. That's a hit. So give Key Brian his hit and RBI back, you cowards. They won't. I actually think he's been swinging the bat fairly well. I know his 297 on the OBP says OPS says otherwise, but I feel like he's actually swung fairly decent so far this year. But we're just waiting on results. Dane Myers continues to keep coming through. I really like that, and obviously we know about what Sal's doing. So yeah, obviously it's a frustrating game. It's a disappointing game the way they played tonight. But and you can't have these 0 for 10 runners in scoring position days. You can't leave 11 on base, especially in division games, especially when you know who's pitching tomorrow for the Pirates. But I will say this: brush it off, like Steven says here in the chat. Got another one tomorrow, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So it wasn't a great day for the batters, but also wasn't a great day for Brandon Williamson either. Let's go ahead and talk about that right after this. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction market changes the game. It's people moving the action. So when momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just a spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood, now available across the U.S. Download the Robinhood app now to begin. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm. This episode is also brought to you by my favorite app in the world for buying tickets, Game Time. MLB season is back and you can feel it. Fresh starts, big expectations, and that first crack of the bat. Whether it's a breakout rookie or a division race that goes down to the wire, there's nothing like being at the ballpark for it. The only problem, getting tickets can feel like a grind. Long queues, surprise fees, prices jumping at checkout. That's where there's Game Time. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage with constant innovation. That's how you unlock amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. It's simple to use. The Game Time guarantee means you get 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best price. And here's the best part. Fees are included in the price you see. What you see is what you pay, period. Also, the really cool thing I really like is the seat view of the future is huge on the app. You really have that. There's also zone deals where you're like, I just want to sit in Sun Moon Deck today. I'm going to go and see what's available in Sun Moon Deck. I'm going to see what's available in there. They'll find the section and save even more when Game Time selects the seats. 2 taps and it's done. No stress, no hidden fees, just great seats in minutes. That's what makes it so easy to decide the last minute to hit a game. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDON for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Hey, if you're not part of the Everydayers Club, why not? I'm right now giving you guys a great opportunity of getting 1 month for free at lockedonreds.supercast.com. You get all of our episodes, mine and Jeff and Steve's show, ad-free. You also get access to our Discord chat. It's going to be super fun. I really hope you guys can join us. I'm in there every day. Jeff and Steve are in there every day. We have a lot of fun chatting with you guys. And of course, we love having you all here in our live chats as well. Let's get to tonight's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
So a 5-run second inning off of Brandon Williamson will do you in most nights. And so the Pirates put 5 up on the board in the second inning to make it a 5-0 game and don't give up the lead yet. The Reds do make some runs at it. It's just they couldn't get those two or three hits they really needed. And so part of that issue is Brandon Williamson made his first start in the big leagues in over 500 days. Here's what we're going to start before we get to the negatives, because, I always got to have my positive spin on things because I'm a glass half full kind of guy. You know me. It's a win in and of itself that he's back pitching. It's a win in and of itself that he's back on a major league mound. He obviously was great in spring training. There's a reason he made the roster when he didn't have to. He could have started the season in Louisville. By the way, if you haven't seen what happened in the Louisville Bats game tonight, go check that out. That was pretty incredible. The Bats are undefeated right now, for those who don't know. But back to Brandon Williamson. It's, had a great spring. And if you listen to Tommy Thaw on the radio broadcast talking about it tonight, he mentioned, he's like, he was due to have a game like that where he got beat. And that is going to happen sometimes, especially when it's your first start in the major leagues in a really long time. So he goes 4 2/3, gives up 6 earned runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, but 3 homers. That part is obviously going to sting. It's a bummer, but here's what I will say. This bullpen's been used a lot more than they probably should be at this point. And he took one I saw someone in the chat call it, took one. I'm so sorry that I didn't see the user here. So forgive me for using this comment, not giving you a quote. He sacrificed the back of his baseball card for the bullpen today. And I think that says a lot about how this game went for him. So thought he looked all right in moments, but mostly was bad. I'm not super concerned about it for the year because they have options if it just doesn't work out. He has options where he can go back to Louisville to work on things if he needs to. He can be a guy that could be a long guy when the rotation's fully healthy. We know Nick Lodillo is supposed to make a start on Friday, a rehab start. So maybe that means he goes down he goes to the bullpen for a little bit as well while they're trying to get healthy. But it was great to see him out there. It didn't go his way. I imagine he's going to learn a lot from this, and we're going to see him maybe get a better outing his next one, which I think is going to be they're in Texas. We'll get to it. So he will probably pitch, if I have this right here. This is amazing content. I know, guys. This is what you came here for. In Miami. So we'll probably see B-Will in Miami, but apparently Lodolo might pitch in Miami too. They're expecting they're going to meet him there. So that could also be an option as well. Bullpen wise, so obviously I'm not super concerned about Pierce Johnson yet either. I'm not going to freak out about a lot of things 5 games of the season, unless your name's TJ Friedel. Something there doesn't seem good. Spencer Steer, something there doesn't seem good. But that is a conversation when I have more time. But Brock Burke tonight, 2 1/3 with 2 Ks. Thought he looked good. Sam Moll looked good. And then Pierce Johnson, of course, gives up a homer to O'Neal Cruz. And I know that was kind of a bummer, but does get through the inning. Thankfully, at that point, the game was out of hand, so it wasn't like it determined the fate of the game. But I think Pierce Johnson's going to end up being a really good part for this team. I do. And when they get these guys back from the IL, the Caleb Fergusons and guys like that, I think this bullpen's going to be a strength for the Reds. And like I said, I still really like this team. And I'm excited to actually talk some good here in this final segment. But we will get to the final segment. As although there was a lot of bad tonight, Sal Stewart and Elly de Cruz go back to back and say the future of the Reds looks pretty darn enticing. It's tax time, but for a lot of us, the old way of doing taxes is a lot. Trying to book an appointment that's not the most convenient, sitting in a waiting room with a stack of papers, emailing back and forth and wondering if they really get your situation. But this year, you're getting a major upgrade. Intuit TurboTax now has in-person locations nationwide. You can meet face-to-face with a real tax expert, and your documents get uploaded straight to your TurboTax app on the spot. And just like that, you're done. Your TurboTax expert works to get you every dollar you deserve. Well, you get real-time notifications as you go about your day. It's the relief of walking in and meeting a real person and walking out and know your taxes are being handled right. Head to turbotax.com/local to find a store near you and book your appointment. All right, enough with the negativity, guys. We've been negative too long tonight here on the pod, on the postcast. So much the TurboTax ad's still up when I'm trying to be dramatic and it didn't work out in my way. But we had some good tonight and we had some fun. And we saw back-to-back homers, which was really nice. And I guess we'll call it the Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I guess if there's a Locked On Player of the Game, we'll go Sal Stewart because he had a homer and a walk, so he got on base twice tonight and was the second part of a back-to-back home run situation between Elly de Cruz and Sal Stewart. I'm going to mention this first because this cracks me up. This is the beauty of baseball right here in a sentence. Elly de Cruz, his home run tonight, mind you, opposite field, right-handed, was 94 miles an hour off the bat. It's his slowest home run in his big league career so far. Earlier in the game, he hit a ground out that was 110 miles an hour off the bat. If that doesn't describe baseball in one sentence, I don't know what does. And Sal Stewart continues, although his getting on base 3 times streak ended today, he does still get on base twice. So that he actually still has his on base twice streak. And so we're going to take that. We're going to do that as well. So Stewart goes 1 for 4 with a homer and a walk. Like I said, Elly goes 1 for 5 with a homer. Elly got an OPS at 804. Sal rocking that 1.807. So things are okay. I still think this team's, I don't know. I was just watching that 8th inning and I was watching them fight. And I don't want to say this is like the thing where it's like, we're just like I said, we magnify everything so early in the year, but something about the way this team just competed there. I know they lost by 5 runs tonight, but that 8th inning just kind of gave you some hope, right? It gave you some vibes. It gave you some energy that this team could actually be something really good this year. Like maybe this team has a shot to do something that we could all be excited about. So you get the Elly homer, you get the Sal homer. Gino gets a break and then goes opposite field single. Dane Myers gets a hit there. And then, Nathaniel Lowe hits one on the screws right to the second baseman. It's a double play. So I really like what they're doing. I think this team has a chance to be pretty good and I'm excited about them. I hope you guys are still excited about them. I know what tomorrow says it's going to be, but I feel like this is a team that has a chance to be a pretty good team and make a repeat postseason appearance this year. But that means we're going to go ahead and wrap this up because I have a second show again tonight. The Cavaliers decided to do this really nice thing where they also, the night when the Reds go back-to-back, the Cavaliers decided to have a back-to-back on the West Coast tonight. So I have to go prep for that one as well. But I want to thank you guys so much for spending some time with me. As always, the Reds are losers tonight, the Pittsburgh Pirates, 8-3. The Pirates have 8 runs on 8 hits and an error. The Reds have 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher tonight for the Pirates is Yohan Ramirez, picking up his first one of the year. Brandon Williamson gets his first loss of the season. And tomorrow we have another rubber match. It's the battle of the ones as Paul Skenes, who is 0-1 with a 67.50 ERA. I can't imagine that's going to last very long. Is on the hill against Andrew Abbott, who in his first opening day start went 6 innings, a shutout ball with a no decision. Right now, first pitch is supposed to be at 12:40. If you look at the radar, I'm not so sure at that, but regardless, I will be here. It may be later just because it might not be right after the last out just because I have to work my day job, and we'll see how that goes. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I'm sorry it wasn't the best game. I'm Tim Daniel. Have a great night. Go Redlegs. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I'll see you Friday.